Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a listener request. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of payment gateway testing.
Oh, yeah.
You sent over a really practical guide.
Okay.
And honestly, I'm already fascinated by how much goes on behind the scenes
Right.
every time we click buy now online.
It's true.
I'm kind of scared to know.
It's a lot, but also I'm ready.
It really is an intricate process, and most of us take it for granted. This deep dive, I think, will help you understand the nuts and bolts
Okay.
of ensuring those online transactions are safe,
Yeah.
reliable, and smooth for everyone.
Okay, so let's dive in.
All right.
Before we even get to the testing part, can you give us a quick overview of what a payment gateway actually does?
Sure.
I have a feeling some listeners might be picturing like a magical portal that transports money through the internet,
Right.
but is it that simple?
It's not magic, but it is pretty clever.
Okay.
Think of it as a secure bridge between an online store
Okay.
and your bank.
When you make a purchase, the payment gateway verifies your card details,
Uh-huh.
authorizes the transaction,
Okay.
and then make sure the funds are transferred securely.
Gotcha.
So it's the crucial link.
Yeah.
It keeps everything moving smoothly and safely.
So it's like a digital handshake,
Hmm.
ensuring that both the buyer and the seller are legitimate.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
And within that handshake,
Yeah.
there are three core aspects that the guide emphasizes:
Okay.
security,
Mm-hmm.
reliability,
Uh-huh.
and performance.
Okay, makes sense.
Those are the pillars of a successful payment gateway.
Now, the guide dives into different types of payment gateways.
Right.
Hosted and shared.
Yes.
For example, PayPal is considered a hosted gateway.
Exactly.
Okay.
With a hosted gateway like PayPal or Authorize.net,
Yeah.
you're redirected away from the online store
Right.
to complete the payment on the provider's platform.
Okay.
You can feel like a separate step,
Yeah.
but it often means the store itself doesn't handle sensitive card data,
Gotcha.
which can simplify their security requirements.
So less hassle for the store owner, but maybe a slightly less seamless experience for the shopper?
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
Then you have shared gateways, like Stripe or eWay,
Okay.
where the payment process happens entirely within the online store's interface.
Yeah, okay.
It can create a smoother,
Yeah.
more integrated experience.
Yeah.
But it also means the store has greater responsibility
Okay.
over security
Uh-huh.
and PCI compliance.
Gotcha. So choosing the right type of gateway depends on a business's needs and priorities.
Definitely.
But no matter which type you choose,
Yeah,
testing is absolutely essential.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not just a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
The guide outlines four main categories
Okay.
of payment gateway testing:
Okay.
functional integration,
Right.
performance,
Yep.
and of course, security.
Let's break those down a bit. Functional testing seems pretty straightforward,
Yes.
making sure all the basic features work correctly.
Exactly.
What are some things that could go wrong?
Right.
And how do you actually test for them?
It's all about anticipating potential issues
Okay.
and simulating real-world scenarios.
Okay.
For example,
Okay.
does the system correctly calculate sales tax or VAT
Uh-huh.
based on the customer's location?
Yeah.
Does it handle discounts and coupons properly?
Okay.
Testers would input a variety of scenarios,
Right.
making sure the calculations are always accurate
Yeah.
and the order details are transmitted correctly.
It's like giving the system a pump quiz with all sorts of tricky math problems.
Yes, exactly.
What about integration testing?
Integration testing is where things get a bit more complex.
Okay.
It's about ensuring the payment gateway plays nicely with all the other systems involved.
Okay.
Think about an online store.
Yeah.
It needs to communicate with inventory management,
Yeah.
shipping platforms,
Mm-hmm.
email marketing tools,
Okay.
and maybe even a CRM system.
Wow. It's like a whole digital orchestra.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And integration testing ensures all those instruments are in tune
Okay.
and playing the right notes at the right time.
Yeah.
For example, when an order is placed,
Right.
the system needs to accurately update inventory levels,
Yeah.
trigger a shipping notification,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even add the customer to a mailing list.
Right.
It's all about seamless communication
Yeah.
between different parts of the ecosystem.
So a successful integration test means a happy customer
Yes,
and a happy business owner.
absolutely.
What about performance testing? This sounds like it could be particularly crucial for businesses that experience spikes in traffic.
Absolutely. Performance testing is all about stress testing the system.
Right.
Imagine a scenario like Black Friday or Cyber Monday,
Oh, yeah.
when thousands of shoppers are trying to make purchases simultaneously,
Right.
performance testing simulates
Okay.
that kind of high-traffic environment
Yeah.
to ensure the payment gateway can handle the load.
So testers are basically throwing a digital party
That's a great way to put it.
and making sure the payment gateway doesn't crash under pressure.
They're looking at things like response times,
Ah.
how quickly transactions are processed,
Yep.
and the overall stability of the system under duress.
Okay.
A slow or unreliable payment gateway can lead to lost sales and frustrated customers.
For sure.
So performance testing is crucial
Yeah.
for maintaining a positive user experience,
Mm.
especially during peak periods.
That makes perfect sense. Now on to the big one,
Okay.
security testing.
Yes.
This seems like the most critical aspect of all,
Right.
given the sensitive nature of financial data.
Security is paramount.
Yeah.
It's not just about protecting data, it's about maintaining trust.
Okay.
This is where testers put on their hacker hats
Okay.
and try to expose any vulnerabilities in the system.
Gotcha.
They'll probe for weaknesses in encryption,
Mm-hmm.
data storage, and authentication processes, looking for any cracks
Right.
that malicious actors could exploit.
So it's like a digital game of hide and seek,
Exactly.
with testers trying to find and fix any security holes before the bad guys can exploit them.
And the guide really dives deep into the specifics.
Okay.
It even mentions the importance of testing for vulnerabilities like SQL injection,
Yeah.
a technique hackers use to try and access sensitive data
Right.
from a website's database.
Okay.
By simulating these attacks,
Yeah.
testers can identify and fix those vulnerabilities
Right.
before they cause real harm.
That's reassuring to know, but wait, there's more to security testing, right? What about the different types of credit cards and
Yeah.
payment methods?
That's another crucial aspect.
Okay.
The guide emphasizes testing for a wide range of credit card types,
Mhm.
like Visa,
Yep.
MasterCard,
Uh-huh.
American Express,
Yeah.
and even Discover.
Oh.
And don't forget about digital wallets,
Right.
like Apple Pay and Google Pay.
Yeah.
Each payment method has its own set of protocols and security requirements.
Okay.
So thorough testing is essential
Yeah.
to ensure compatibility and a smooth user experience across the board.
Okay, so we've got our 4 key areas of testing.
Right.
Functional, integration, performance, and security.
Yes.
But how do we actually put this knowledge into practice? What does a real-world testing process look like?
That's where the guide really shines.
Okay.
It provides an incredibly detailed checklist
Okay.
covering everything from basic functionality to advanced security measures.
Yeah.
Frankly, it's pretty impressive, the level of depth they go into.
Okay, I'm ready to dive into that checklist, but first we need a little break.
Okay.
We'll be back in a moment to uncover the secrets of payment gateway testing.
Sounds good.
All right, we're back and ready to tackle that epic checklist
Yes.
from our payment gateway testing guide.
Okay.
I'm already sensing this is where the real detective work begins.
It's true. This checklist is like a treasure map,
Oh,
leading to a secure and reliable payment experience.
I like that.
And just like any good treasure hunt,
Yeah.
it involves paying attention to detail and anticipating the unexpected.
Okay, so let's get specific. What are some of the most interesting or unexpected things
Right.
on this checklist that really stood out to you? The stuff that might surprise our listeners.
One thing that might surprise people is the importance of testing language settings
Oh, okay.
in today's global marketplace.
Yeah.
An e-commerce site might need to handle transactions in multiple languages,
Right.
and the payment gateway needs to keep up.
Yeah.
Imagine a customer in Spain trying to make a purchase,
Okay.
but the error messages are all in English.
Oh, no.
That's a recipe for confusion and frustration.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's easy to overlook those language nuances when
Right.
you're focused on the technical aspects.
Yes.
So testers would actually go through the entire checkout process
Okay.
in different languages
Yes.
to make sure everything is translated accurately and the experience is seamless.
Exactly. And it's not just about translating the words.
Right.
It's about understanding cultural differences
Okay.
and nuances in how people make payments in different parts of the world.
Yeah.
A good testing strategy takes all of that into account.
Wow, that's a level of detail I wouldn't have thought of.
It's important.
What else is on this checklist?
Another crucial aspect is session handling.
Okay.
This refers to how the system manages a user's interaction with the website.
Okay.
Let's say you're browsing an online store, adding items to your cart,
Yeah.
but then your internet connection drops
Okay.
or your session times out.
Uh-oh.
What happens to those items?
Oh, no, that's happened to me before.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating to lose all your selections
Yeah.
and have to start over.
Right, and that's exactly what good session handling prevents.
Okay.
The system should be able to either save your progress
Okay.
or gracefully handle the interruption.
Yeah.
So you can pick up where you left off.
Okay.
Testers will simulate these scenarios,
Right.
making sure the system behaves as expected,
Mhm.
and the customer's experience isn't disrupted.
So it's all about creating a safety net.
Yes.
For those unexpected moments, what about error messages?
Oh, yeah.
Those can be a make or break moment for a customer,
Right?
especially when dealing with something as sensitive as a payment.
Absolutely clear and helpful error messages are crucial.
Yeah.
The checklist emphasizes testing not only that the right errors are triggered,
Okay.
but also how those errors are communicated to the user.
Yeah.
Are they clear and concise?
Uh-huh.
Do they avoid technical jargon? Do they offer specific steps for resolution?
It's like the difference between a helpful guide and a cryptic riddle.
Yes, exactly.
A good error message should point you in the right direction,
Right.
not leave you scratching your head.
And then there are the security-specific tests.
Okay.
The checklist dives deep into things like database security,
Okay.
ensuring that sensitive data like credit card numbers are never stored in plain text,
Yeah.
and that access to that data is strictly controlled.
So it's like building a digital fortress around that information,
Precisely.
making sure it's protected at every level.
And it goes beyond the database itself.
Okay.
The checklist also emphasizes testing things like email encryption for transaction receipts, ensuring that those sensitive communications are protected in transit.
Okay, this checklist is really impressive. It's like a master class in anticipating every possible scenario
Yeah.
and testing for it. But let's move beyond the checklist for a moment
Okay.
and talk about some specific test cases.
Right.
The guide mentions some scenarios that go beyond the basics.
Right. These test cases delve into those what-if situations
Okay.
that can really expose vulnerabilities or weaknesses in a payment gateway.
Okay, hit me with those what-if scenarios. I'm ready for the payment gateway testing equivalent of a horror movie.
All right, picture this. A customer is in the middle of entering their credit card details,
Okay.
and suddenly the payment gateway goes offline. Poof, it's gone. What happens next?
Oh, that's a nightmare scenario. I can imagine the panic setting in for both the customer and the business owner.
Exactly. A robust payment gateway needs to have contingency plans in place
Right.
for these kinds of situations.
Okay.
Testers will simulate this kind of outage,
Yeah.
making sure the system doesn't simply crash and burn.
So what should happen in that situation?
Ideally, the system would have some sort of fallback mechanism.
Okay.
Maybe it redirects to a backup payment gateway
Okay.
or displays a clear message to the customer
Yeah.
explaining the situation and offering alternative ways to complete the purchase.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's all about minimizing disruption and maintaining trust even when things go wrong. What other spooky scenarios do testers dream up?
Let's talk about user errors.
Okay.
We all make mistakes.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Imagine a customer accidentally enters the wrong credit card number
Yeah.
or forgets to update their expiration date.
Oh, I've done that before. It's embarrassing, but it happens.
Exactly. A good payment gateway should be able to gracefully handle these common errors. Instead of simply rejecting the payment,
Yeah.
it might offer helpful suggestions
Okay.
or guide the user through the process of correcting the mistake.
So it's like having a digital assistant there to help you through those fumble-fingered moments.
Exactly. It's all about creating a user-friendly experience
Yeah.
that anticipates those common mistakes
Okay.
and provides a helpful path forward.
Okay, what about those cases where a payment is legitimately declined?
Right.
Maybe the customer doesn't have sufficient funds or their bank flags the transaction as suspicious?
That's another crucial area for testing.
Okay.
The focus here is on how the system communicates those declines
Okay.
to both the customer and the merchant.
Right.
The error messages need to be clear, specific, and avoid placing blame.
Right, because a vague or accusatory message could damage the customer's trust
Yes.
and potentially lead to lost business.
Exactly. Testers will simulate a variety of decline scenarios,
Okay.
ensuring that the system provides helpful information and guidance, both for the customer trying to make the purchase
Yeah.
and the merchant trying to understand why the payment failed.
Okay, we've covered technical glitches, user errors, and declined payments. What other scenarios keep payment gateway testers up at night?
Well, security testing goes beyond just simulating those external attacks.
Okay.
It also involves testing for internal vulnerabilities,
Okay.
things like weak passwords,
Yeah.
improper access controls,
Okay.
or even malicious employees trying to exploit the system.
So it's not just about protecting against outside threats.
Right.
It's about ensuring that the system is secure from the inside out.
Exactly. Testers will try to exploit any weaknesses in the system's defenses,
Oh, wow.
looking for ways to gain unauthorized access or manipulate data.
Okay.
It's all about proactively identifying and fixing those vulnerabilities
Right.
before they can be exploited by someone with malicious intent.
This is all starting to sound like a spy movie.
Yeah,
Secret agents, hackers, hidden vulnerabilities. It's pretty intense.
it is intense, but that level of rigor is necessary. When you're dealing with something as crucial as online payments,
Yeah, that's true.
and the guide doesn't stop there.
Okay.
It also delves into some more advanced testing concepts,
Okay.
like performance testing under different network conditions.
Okay, explain that one to me. What do network conditions have to do with payment gateway testing?
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
People are making online purchases from all over the world,
Right.
using a variety of devices and internet connections.
Yeah.
Some might be on super fast Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
while others are using slower mobile data.
Right. And those differences in connection speed can definitely impact
Yes.
how a website or app perform.
Exactly. So testers need to simulate those different network conditions
Okay.
to make sure the payment gateway can handle them gracefully.
Okay.
A slow connection shouldn't cause the transaction to time out or fail.
So it's like testing the system's ability to adapt to different environments.
Yes.
And perform consistently regardless of the user's location or internet speed.
Precisely. And that brings us to another interesting aspect of testing,
Okay, what's that?
device compatibility.
Device compatibility, you mean like making sure the payment gateway works on different phones, tablets, and computers.
Exactly. Today's consumers are using a wider range of devices than ever before,
Right.
and the payment gateway needs to work seamlessly across all of them.
Yeah.
This means testing on different operating systems like iOS and Android,
Uh-huh.
different browsers like Chrome and Safari,
Yeah.
and even different screen sizes and resolutions.
That's a lot of variables to consider.
It is, but it's crucial for ensuring a positive user experience.
Right.
Imagine trying to make a purchase on your phone,
Yeah.
but the payment gateway is glitching, or the buttons are too small to tap accurately.
Yeah, no, that would be terrible.
That's not going to inspire much confidence
No.
in the buying process.
Definitely not so. Device compatibility testing is all about ensuring that the payment gateway looks and functions flawlessly
Yes.
on any device a customer might be using. It's about creating a consistent and user-friendly experience across the board.
Exactly, and this guide really emphasizes that attention to detail.
Okay.
It even mentions the importance of testing for things like pop-up blockers,
Oh, right. Pop-up blockers.
which can interfere with the payment process if they're not handled correctly.
I can see how those could cause issues.
Absolutely. And the guide also delves into things like testing the system's responsiveness to different input methods.
Okay.
Some users might be using a touchscreen,
Yeah.
while others are using a mouse or a keyboard.
Right.
The payment gateway needs to be able to handle all those different input methods
Right.
smoothly and intuitively.
Okay, so it's about thinking about every possible way a user might interact with the payment gateway
Yes.
and ensuring that the experience is positive regardless of their device, browser, or input method.
Precisely. It's all about creating a seamless and user-friendly experience
Yeah.
that inspires trust and confidence in the online shopping process.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground here. From language settings to session handling to error messages to device compatibility.
It's a lot.
It's clear that payment gateway testing involves a lot more
Yes.
than simply making sure payments go through.
It's about anticipating potential issues,
Yeah.
simulating real-world scenarios, and testing for a wide range of variables.
Right.
It's about ensuring that the payment process is secure, reliable,
Yeah.
and as smooth as possible for every user every time.
Okay, so we've got a solid grasp on the what and the how of payment gateway testing.
Right.
But now I'm curious to explore the why.
Okay.
Why should listeners care about all this?
Right.
What's the bigger picture here?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And one we'll delve into in part 3 of our deep dive.
Right.
We'll explore the broader implications of payment gateway testing,
Okay.
the role it plays in shaping the future of e-commerce,
Okay.
and the impact it has on our lives as online shoppers.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've spent the last 2 parts really exploring the ins and outs of payment gateway testing.
Yeah, all those little details.
The checklists, the test cases,
Uh-huh.
the scenarios that keep developers up at night.
Right.
We really peeled back the layers of this often invisible but essential part of online shopping.
It's true.
And now in this final part, I want to shift our focus to the bigger picture.
Okay.
Why should all of this matter to our listeners?
Right.
What are the broader implications of this rigorous testing process?
I think at its core, payment gateway testing is about building trust.
Okay.
As more and more of our lives move online,
Yeah.
that trust becomes absolutely essential for e-commerce to thrive.
That makes sense. We hand over our sensitive financial information online. We expect it to be handled with care.
Right.
But how does testing actually build that trust?
It's about demonstrating a commitment to security and reliability.
Okay.
By rigorously testing every aspect of the payment process,
Yeah.
businesses show their customers that they're taking data protection seriously.
Right.
They're proactively looking for vulnerabilities
Okay.
and fixing them before they can be exploited.
So it's like a seal of approval saying, we've done our homework and you can trust us with your sensitive information.
Exactly. And that trust has ripple effects.
Okay.
It can lead to increased customer loyalty,
Yeah.
positive reviews,
Mm-hmm.
and ultimately a stronger reputation for the business.
Okay, so a well-tested payment gateway can actually benefit a business beyond just preventing fraud
Right.
or technical glitches.
Yeah,
It can impact their overall brand perception and customer relationships.
absolutely. And it goes beyond individual businesses.
Okay.
Thorough payment gateway testing contributes to a safer
Yeah.
and more reliable online ecosystem for everyone.
Now, that's a big picture impact I hadn't considered.
It's huge.
But I'm also curious about the other side of the coin.
Okay.
Does this focus on testing ever, slow down innovation in the online payment space? It seems like it could create a lot of hurdles for new companies or technologies trying to enter the market.
It's a valid concern.
Hmm.
Rigorous testing does require time, resources, and expertise.
Yeah.
But I'd argue that in the long run, it actually facilitates innovation
How so?
by catching and resolving issues early in the development process.
Okay.
Companies can avoid costly mistakes and delays down the line.
Right.
It's like building a house on a solid foundation.
Yeah.
Testing ensures that the structure is sound from the get-go, allowing for faster and more confident growth.
So instead of being a roadblock, testing becomes a roadmap to success.
Exactly. It allows companies to focus on developing innovative features and functionalities,
Right.
knowing that the underlying payment infrastructure is secure and reliable.
Okay.
And let's not forget, the world of online payments is constantly evolving.
Right. It seems like every day there's a new way to pay for things.
Exactly. And each of these new technologies brings its own unique set of challenges
Okay.
and considerations for testing. How do you ensure the security of a cryptocurrency transaction?
Yeah.
How do you test the usability of a fingerprint scanner for payment authorization?
Right.
These are complex questions that require innovative testing approaches.
So in a way, these new technologies are actually pushing the boundaries of payment gateway testing
Absolutely.
and driving further innovation in the field.
They're forcing testers to think outside the box,
Yeah.
to develop new tools and techniques,
Yeah.
to ensure the security, reliability, and usability of these emerging payment methods.
Right.
It's an exciting time to be in this space.
We've talked a lot about the technical aspects of testing, but I'm also curious about the human element.
Okay.
Will human testers ever become obsolete?
Right.
Will robots take over the world of payment gateway testing?
That's a question that comes up a lot in check these days.
Yeah, for sure.
And while automation is certainly playing an increasingly important role in testing,
Yeah.
I believe human expertise will always be essential.
Okay, tell me more about why humans are still so crucial in this process.
Well, automated testing is great for running through a large number of predefined scenarios.
Okay.
But humans are much better at thinking creatively,
Right.
at anticipating those edge cases
Okay.
that a computer program might miss.
So it's like that intuition, that ability to think like a real user and say, hey, what if someone does this unexpected thing? How will the system handle it?
Exactly. Human testers bring a level of insight and adaptability that's hard to replicate with machines.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, testing isn't just about finding bugs.
Yeah.
It's also about evaluating the user experience.
Right, because a payment gateway might be technically sound,
Right.
but still frustrating or confusing to use.
Exactly. Human testers can provide valuable feedback on things like the clarity of instructions, the intuitiveness of the interface,
Yeah.
and the overall flow of the payment process.
So it's a partnership. Machines excel at speed and efficiency,
Right.
while humans bring that crucial element of critical thinking and user empathy.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And as the world of online payments continues to evolve, I think that partnership will only become more important.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive into payment gateway testing.
We have.
We've explored the technical details, the importance of security and reliability, the emerging trends, and the broader implications for both businesses and consumers.
It's been a fascinating journey.
It really has. And as we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought.
Okay.
Now that you have a deeper understanding of what goes into testing a payment gateway,
Yeah.
how does it change your perception of online shopping?
Right.
Do you feel more confident, more informed, or maybe even more curious about the invisible systems that power our digital lives?
That's a good question.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep diving deep.